if I can turn it, okay, we got it on, thank you. Call the meeting to order, so to the clerk of the board. We're going to call the meeting to order on August 4th, 2026. May I have roll call, please?
Supervisor James. Present. Supervisor Williams. Here. Supervisor Mashburn. Here. And Chair Brown.
Yes. Before we do the salute to the flag, if we can remember our men and women who are fighting overseas, please, as we take a moment of silence. If I could have the Chief of Police from Fairfield start us, please, with the flag. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Someday. Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, would you read the title to agenda item number 1, please, and call for public comment?
Okay, ma'am. I have no cards submitted for agenda item number 1, and I have no callers. Item 1, adopt and present a resolution and plaque of appreciation honoring Clerical Operations Manager Diana Jaramillo upon her retirement from the Sheriff's Office with over 20 years of dedicated public service to Solano County. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Sheriff, hi. Good to see you again. Get this thing to work right. All right, thank you all this morning for being here with us to honor Diana. In the Sheriff's Office, we see the deputies and the SSOs out on the street all the time. And they're, in most instances, the face of the Sheriff's Office, but it takes a lot behind the scenes to actually make that work, right? There is a whole army of folks behind them that make it possible for them to provide that public safety for us and to provide that help. And Diana's one of those folks, and she's been doing this for over 20 years for us. On holidays, on weekends, the middle of the night, when that deputy's standing out on a levee somewhere, waiting on a warrant to come back, and they've got somebody out there and they don't know who it is, they don't know if it's somebody who's dangerous or not, Diana's the person who's gonna help them. She's the person that's gonna make sure that warrants check is done and that deputy knows who and what he or she is dealing with. And for that, we owe her a debt of gratitude, and I'm very appreciative for all her years of service, and I'm appreciative to her family for being there for her and being supportive of that. So to that end, the resolution from our board, Diana Jaramillo began her career with the Department of Health and Social Services on April 24th, 2006 as an Office Assistant 2 in the Public Health Division. On August 27th of 2007, she accepted a promotion to Accounting Clerk 2 in the Department of Child Support Services, where she then promoted to Child Support Specialist in 2009. She joined the Solano County Sheriff's Office as an accounting technician in 2018, before promoting to Accounting Supervisor with the Auditor Controller's Office July 11th of 2021. Diana returned to the Sheriff's Office as a Clerical Operations Manager on September 17, 2023, where she served until her retirement. Diana last served as the Clerical Operations Manager overseeing Civil Bureau and Records and Warrants Bureau, a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation, and acted as a Sheriff's Office Agency CLETS Coordinator. Diana is known for her professionalism, high standards, and willingness to learn, and take new challenges. With her direct and matter-of-fact approach, she has provided clear guidance, served as a trusted mentor, and remained a steadfast advocate for her staff, always encouraging with their growth and wanting the very best for them. Diana will retire August 4th of 2026 after 20 years and 3 months of outstanding dedicated service to Solano County. She's a highly respected and valued member of the Sheriff's Office and will be greatly missed by her friends and coworkers. Therefore, be it resolved that the Solano County Board of Supervisors hereby recognizes Diana Jaramello for her distinguished service to the citizens of Solano County and wishes her a long, healthy, and happy retirement. And with that, Sheriff, it's all yours.
Good morning, Board. Morning,
Morning.
everybody. Brad DeWall, your sheriff. So we're here to say goodbye to Diana. It's been, I have to tell you, so since you came on board, we were trying to realign a lot of our organization, including records and warrants, and you came in, and I'm sure that it was an undertaking that you weren't anticipating, but what you did ultimately is build a really strong team of people that are just, most of all, besides they're competent, they are very much a team in all aspects of supporting each other and getting the mission done 24/7 for all of our public safety out there in the field. So for that, I just want to say thank you. And I know what you have in store for your next chapter. I think that that's amazing. Maybe you'll share some of it. Maybe not. I don't know. But I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for us, because you have truly, what I see that you're surrounded yourself with is a positive team, and I couldn't be more proud. So thank you, Dana.
Thank you. Well, I wasn't prepared for this, but I just want to say thank you. This has been a great opportunity. These 20 years really opened my eyes, and it's been a wonderful, with a lot of challenges, but I love challenges. Everybody knows that. And I enjoy working with the people that I've been working. I had amazing teams through my careers. Right now, my teams are the best. Unfortunately, they cannot be here because they are 24/7, so they have to be answering the phone calls and seeing the public. But I have two friends here from Civil Records, and now it's a staff analyst. And thank you for the deputies, captains, lieutenants, and for being in here with me. Thank you to Child Support. Thank you all. It's good to see you. Thank you, Janine. And yes, I want to share. I'm going to brag. I'm heading to Colombia with my hubby. So we're going to start a new journey, and we would like to see what is waiting for us. We might be back and forth. Our son stays here. He's with the Army, and he remains here because he was born here, so he wants to stay here. Yes. I have to say thank you to the sheriff. Thank you to Lisa. Lisa has been my support, great support. She's my supervisor, and you have been a great support for me, a good mentor, good guidance. I have to say thank you to everybody. Unfortunately, not everybody can be here. Thank you, Lieutenant Castillo. You've been very helpful. Everybody over there, thank you again. And thank you, everybody. You don't know me, but now you get to know me. Thank you.
So if we can have all of her county family and her family, if they're here?
Unfortunately.
Not here? Okay, so all of her county family come down here in support of her. We're going to do a picture. Come on, child support services and health and social services and auditor's office. I mean, she's touched everything. All y'all come down here and get in this picture. That's right. Here, yeah, give her that big old fancy. Thank you, Sheriff.
The goal is not to hurt my Diet Coke, and life is good. We're good, exactly.
I'm going to go back up here so I can be in the picture.
Table in front, it's just like school. Tall people can come back here.
There's not enough room. Some of you guys can come back here.
For her to say, come on up here, y'all. Here, come on, take my spot up in here. I'm gonna be in the picture no matter what.
How you doing? Good. How you doing?
Yep, sounds good. All right, Madam Clerk, if you would read the title for agenda item number 2 and call for public comment, please.
Ma'am, I have no callers on the line, and I have no cards for agenda item number 2. Adopt and present a resolution recognizing August 2026 as Child Support Awareness Month in Solano County. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ma'am? Thank you. So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
You just went into your happy place. It's okay. I understand. It's hard to believe it's another year. I know, every year. They get faster and faster, like it's August already. Come on up, guys. Hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. Every year, exactly. So, today is the resolution, as was stated already, of the Solano County Board of Supervisors recognizing the month of August 2026 as Child Support Awareness Month in Solano County. Whereas Solano County recognizes that every child matters, and I did not put my glasses on, so let me just kind of go through here. And joining the 47 California local child support agencies, and the nation is recognizing August 2026 as Child Support Awareness Month. Thank you. And as you can tell, it takes them to help this child. I'm just sharing, So we don't stop. I know, and I appreciate that. All right, so whoever wants to speak next is fine.
Good morning, Board. Leanne Peck, Director for the Department of Child Support Services. Before I go into Child Support Awareness Month, I think the irony is not lost that Diana Jaramillo was in child support. I met her when I worked in Siskiyou County. She managed all of our bilingual cases. So the child support family is a close-knit group, and it's one of those where you get to cross paths, so that's really nice. But I did want to say thank you for the recognition today and for the resolution. This opportunity allows us every year to come forward, talk about the services that we offer as a program, and really bring awareness to the program. We are not a service that you have to qualify for, and I think that's a misnomer, so I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that. Even though there's an application that people fill out, it's an enrollment process, so you don't have to qualify. Your income doesn't matter. The jurisdiction where you live doesn't matter. There's a local child support agency in every county, so if you are needing services and you need help with child support or you have questions, please reach out because you don't have to qualify. So I think every year we talk about the same kind of resolution and the services that we offer, but I think that's really, we're seeing in the program one of the most misunderstandings is that, well, I don't qualify for support. So there's families out there that are not receiving our services, and in Solano County, we do pride ourselves in meeting the families where they're at. if they need flexible case management, if we need to connect them with resources. So if you've got questions, reach out. We have an amazing team. A lot of them are working behind the scenes right now, but we are definitely eager to help. One of the things I wanted to recognize is our annual backpack drive. So every year we do a back to school drive. We partner with the Solano County Office of Education. This year the Teacher Resource Center of North Bay donated 100 backpacks, and Supervisor Williams donated 220 colored pencils, and then our staff behind the scenes doubled that and really stepped up. And so we were able to donate 220 backpacks filled with school supplies. We dropped them off last Friday. So that was kind of fun, and it gets the office together. So this is really more of an acknowledgement of our team behind the scenes. Not only are they dedicated to providing service to the families, but they really enjoy reaching out and touching those families and children in the community. And we don't go away. When the child emancipates, we'll still be there for you, providing those services. So yeah, I think that's it. Akan, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Akan Walker. I serve as the Program Coordinator, Educational Liaison for our Foster and Homeless Youth Services at Solano County Office of Education, the best Office of Ed in the West that serves in the best county in the West. So I am so thankful on behalf of Solano County Office of Education, our phenomenal superintendent, Dr. Nicola Parr, and her cabinet, and all of us. We want to say thank you for your continued partnership to serve the most vulnerable students in our area. The backpacks that Ms. Beck just talked about, I'm literally taking those tomorrow. We're going to be going to our annual foster youth picnic that's sponsored by Solano County Child Welfare Services and along with FKCE, and handing those backpacks into the children's hands. And we have about 185 students that are enrolled that are going to be at that picnic tomorrow. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Every backpack, every pencil, every acrylic ruler, everything matters to see that child's face light up and hope placed in their heart that they'll have a good start to their academic year. And this continued partnership means so much to our community, our students, and our families. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the heart of Solano County Office of Education. Thank you.
Steal this. You want to do a picture?
Yeah, we're still going to do pictures, but who wants to hold this? Okay, there we go. All right, so Matthew, yeah, just come on over here. Anybody else who's with the group, come on down, guys. This is big picture time. Okay. Madam Clerk, please read the title for agenda item number 3 and call for public comment.
I do not have any callers on the line, or I do not have any cards, but I do have a caller on the line and just want to confirm. Caller with phone number ending in 16. If you wish to speak on agenda item number 3, please press *3 to raise your hand. Caller on the line, if you wish to speak on agenda item number 3, please press *3 to raise your hand. Okay, they are not raising their hand. Adopt and present a resolution recognizing the week of August 2nd through the 8th, 2026 as National Health Center Week in Solano County. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Good morning. We're here to do a resolution of the Solano County Board of Supervisors recognizing August 2nd through 8th, 2026 as National Health Center Week in Solano County. Whereas community health centers, including federally qualified health centers, FQHCs, and FQHC lookalikes comprise, that's, they look like them, so comprise the nation's largest primary care networking, providing comprehensive health, high-quality primary care to approximately 52 million Americans, serving nearly 1 in every 7 people in the United States. And whereas in Solano County, La Clinica de la Raza, Solano County Family Health Services, Community Medical Centers, and Communicare Ole provide care to community members who are low income, uninsured, or enrolled in Medi-Cal, collectively serving nearly 59,000 Medi-Cal members, equivalent to 12.9% of the county's total population. And whereas locally, community health centers have been recognized by Partnership Health Plan of California for their work to screen patients in a timely manner for various cancers. And whereas the community health center model continues to prove an effective means of overcoming barriers to healthcare access, including income, insurance status, and improving health outcomes and reducing healthcare system costs. And whereas local health centers support patients in the community with innovative approaches to meet them where they are by holding mobile events, kindergarten readiness, vaccine clinics, school-based health education, case management, and home visiting services. Now therefore be it resolved that the Solano County Board of Supervisors hereby recognizes August 2nd through 8th, 2026 as Solano County National Health Center Week, celebrating this vital partnership between America's community health centers, all lookalikes, and communities they serve.
Thank you, Supervisor. Good morning. I'm Dr. Cameron Kaiser, Acting County Public Health Officer. And the best way to keep every resident of Solano County healthy is for them never to fall ill in the first place. But when they do, they need to get back on their feet. And for our residents who are medically underserved for whatever reason that might be, our community health centers, represented here, both public and private, are there for them. At the county, we are proud to provide available high-quality care in our own county clinics here in Fairfield, as well as in Vacaville and our largest center in Vallejo. We see dental, primary care, pediatrics, well child visits, chronic disease, communicable disease. I even see my own tuberculosis patients personally here in Fairfield. As a department, we at Health and Social Services put prevention first because the healthiest people are those who stay that way. But when that is no longer possible, Solano County Family Medical Services and our community partners gathered with us today provide that piece so that our county residents can lead fuller, richer, and meaningful lives. In our facilities, every week is Community Health Center Week, but we are proud to celebrate this particular week with you today. And with that, I understand we have a few comments from some folks with us. So come on up, and we'll start with La Clinica.
Thank you. Good morning, Board of Supervisors. I'm Viola Lujan. I'm a longtime employee of La Clinica de la Raza. Thank you for this recognition on behalf of the 1,200 staff, almost 90,000 patients seen at La Clinica every year. This year's theme for National Health Center Week is Building Innovative Care Where It Matters. At La Clinica, a few examples are enhanced care for the reentry population, new STI and HIV outreach testing and treatment services, and Medi-Cal enrollments done in the community. I want to acknowledge for close to 25 years how important our partnership is with the support of health services, public health, social services, furthered by Director Emery Cohen, also with the support of the Board of Supervisors here in Solano County. Our entire team within the Vallejo city from our medical, dental, behavioral health, and community health education service line commit to the continued partnership to address the enormous challenges we are facing in healthcare with Medi-Cal and HR1 changes impacting our ability to serve the most vulnerable communities, including we want to work in partnership with the No on 44 campaign that we're going to be facing here in November in this state. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Chair, Mayor, Board, and City Council. My name is Denora Corey, and I'm here on behalf of Aliados Health. We would like to thank you for proclaiming August 2nd through the 8th as National Health Center Week. We sincerely appreciate your support of community health centers and the patients we serve. Your proclamation helps raise awareness of the essential role health centers play in ensuring access to quality, affordable care for everyone in our community. Last year alone, health centers in our region provided well over 143,000 patient visits to more than 43,748 patients, demonstrating the vital role they play in keeping our communities healthy and connected to care. Thank you again for recognizing National Health Center Week, for your continued partnership and support. We look forward to continuing to work together to improve the health and well-being of our communities. Thank you.
Yes, we're done.
All right, it is time for us to take public comments. For those of you who are here in person, please complete a speaker card and submit it to the clerk on my right. The clerk will call your name. Please come forward to the podium promptly and be ready to speak. For those attending the meeting virtually, press *3 to raise your hand and alert the clerk you wish to speak under public comment. The clerk will call out the last 2 digits of your phone number to let you know it is time for you to speak. And it is 3 minutes. Just letting you know. Let's be kind. So, to the clerk of the board. Okay.
First speaker is Dan Marshall.
So I understand there's a request for a little bit longer than 3?
Maybe 30 seconds.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, good morning, Chair, members of the board, County Administrator, and members of the public. I am Dan Marshall, Chief of Police of the Fairfield Police Department. I am here today to express concerns about the SANE SART program. Carrie Cordero, Executive Director of SANE SART, has publicly stated that the program requires an additional $90,500 in county funding to sustain services. Those statements have appeared in multiple public posts, many of which have tagged local law enforcement agencies. According to information provided, the program cannot continue providing 24-hour services without additional funding. Meanwhile, the cost of each SART examination has increased from $2,300 per case to $2,800 effective July 1. In 2025, there were 114 SART exams countywide. At $2,300 per exam, that generated approximately $262,000. And if it were at $2,800, it will increase by about $60,000. Through this point in 2026, there have been 50 exams and is trending like 2025. Based on the information provided regarding staffing, I calculated paying a nurse $20 an hour for continuous on-call coverage 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, would total approximately $175,200. Even allowing for additional call-out compensation, for example, 4 hours at $100 for each exam, the estimated annual cost would still be lower than the total revenue generated from the examination fees. Using these assumptions, estimated call-out costs would be approximately $45,600 for the 114 examinations, for a total of $220,800, which is about $40,000 under the revenues. And again, at $2,800 this year, it will be an additional $60,000. While I recognize there are additional operational expenses beyond wages, these numbers raise legitimate questions about the program's overall financial picture. It is my understanding the organization may also receive county funding through grants or other public sources. If that is the case, I respectfully request that the board agendize this issue and include a financial review of SANE SART program, including all county funding, grants, examination revenue, and operating expenses. As a nonprofit organization receiving public funds, I believe transparency is essential to maintaining public trust. I also ask the board to evaluate whether a JPA, working with our local hospitals, who could administer the SART program more efficiently. Currently, our police dispatchers receive a monthly call-out schedule from SART and are responsible for coordinating the nurse call-outs. There may be a more sustainable and accountable model for delivering these legally mandated services. Finally, we're also told availability would be reduced by 8 hours a day, cutting critical times from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. 24-hour SART coverage remains a critical service for victims of sexual assault and is essential to our criminal justice system. The issue directly impacts victims and every resident of Solano County. I respectfully ask the board to place this matter on a future agenda for consideration and all available options to ensure these essential services remain sustainable. Thank you for your time.
So if you could email all of us the data that you're just talking about, that would be really great, because I couldn't write it down fast enough.
I know, I'm sorry.
No. You were doing everything proper.
So I will, I'll email everything when I get back to the PD.
I would really appreciate that, and definitely we'll have a conversation of what you're talking about. So thank you for bringing it forward.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay.
Next speaker is James Vizik.
Yeah, I got some people. Good morning, James Vizik, Director of Resource Management. So with the promotions of Matt Tuggle and Misty Caltrider, we have 2 new managers that have replaced them in their positions. So behind me is Riley Martinson. He's our new engineering manager. He's been with the county for 9 years, promoted up into the position. And then Austin Miller is our new water and delta manager. So he's from Sac County, and we're very excited to have them both here. So with that, I'd like to welcome them.
Come up and say hi.
I guess we're saying something. Yeah, been here 9 years, had a great time. Excited to keep working with you.
Good morning. As James said, Austin Miller. A little about me. Originally from Oregon, where I studied agricultural sciences at Oregon State University. Been in Sacramento County for about the last 10 years, working with a few different organizations, primarily the Slough House Resource Conservation District as their district manager, and then most recently at the County of Sacramento Department of Water Resources, where I worked on a variety of multi-benefit flood and groundwater type projects, and excited to jump in here. So thanks.
So obviously, if you want some time to meet with them and discuss sort of the process for them moving forward, it'd be great. Looking forward to some great work from them, and just keep the ball rolling. So thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next speaker is Jim DeClos.
Thank you. I'm Jim DeClo. I'm a resident of Solano County. There is a Chinese blessing / curse that says, may you live in interesting times. And there are no more interesting times than this. Solano County, of course, is under the microscope. We have national attention. We have a national attention because of the proposal outside of any planning document to build an Oakland / Minneapolis / Tulsa / Bakersfield size city in our county. Now, the current proposal, and this is all behind the scenes, this is all backroom deals. The current proposal is to waive environmental review for this proposal that would almost double the population of Solano County. Absurd. But the question really is, if you have enough money, if you're billionaires from Silicon Valley, can you buy the California government? And that's what we're talking about. Can you purchase the governor's office? Can you purchase the California legislature? It is absurd to whatever proposals are being proposed behind the scenes in Sacramento. And all the public knows is what is leaked out and what is discovered through investigative journalism. We don't know what proposals are being discussed behind closed doors. What we do know from investigative journalism, from Cal Matters, is that there was a meeting with the governor himself on April 1st. What we do know from investigative journalism is that there was a meeting last Thursday that had officials from California Forever and also apparently our local legislative representatives and potentially someone from here. These meetings are being carried out outside of the public process. Now, what's going on? Potentially to count the 2008 EIR for the general plan for Collinsville. Again, absurd. I spent a couple hours rereading it. It's very general. It isn't specific enough. And the threat there, and it's a credible threat that I would like to see the study of, is that this would disrupt the drinking water supply of half of the county. Or to waive environmental review of the whole thing. So this isn't California Forever, this is California of the past, where backroom deals are carried out by robber barons from elsewhere in smoke-filled rooms, although currently they're probably smoke-free and latte-filled. But what my ask is, when there is such a meeting, could we have our public officials who represent us to report out on what's being talked about, and that these major issues, these major proposals, do not remain secret to the public. Thank you.
Okay, we have three callers on the line with their hands raised. Caller with phone number ending in 16, please press *6 to unmute yourself and state your name if you wish, and you have 3 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Oh, wait.
Hi.
No, I'm sorry.
My name is.
Sorry, caller. You are not the caller that we called. We're gonna go ahead and place you on mute again. Caller with phone number ending in 16. Please press *6 to unmute yourself and state your name if you wish.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Joel Barrio. I'm a resident of Vacaville. In last week's Board of Supervisors meeting, there was a lot of screaming and gnashing their teeth over the loss of the shipyard. And I just want to reiterate some things I said last week. With all the noise that was being made over that, it's important to remember just how California Forever came to us. We all remember the secrecy, and then remember the fact that they sued people who just simply didn't want to do business with them, sued them into bankruptcy. And we know from, from stated campaign contributions that at least some of our current board members might be falling into California Forever's orbit. We know that a lot of local city council members are very upfront about it, that they now work for California Forever. Let's not forget the staff report of 2024 that demonstrated that California Forever is going to be a net drain on the taxpayers. Everyone seems to forget this in just the whole amount of noise and money that California Forever produces. If anyone, Saronic is just the latest show that California Forever has put on that once again proved to be a big falsehood. Anyone who had spent just an hour looking at Saronic's website going back more than a year would have seen that Saronic already owns an existing boatyard in Franklin, Louisiana. From what they have already produced 150-foot hulls. They expect to employ 500 people, and they expect that at that facility they'll have the capacity to build 50 of these large craft a year. They would need a huge order from the Defense Department before they would ever need to do anything at a place in Brownsville. They're not going to make that investment. They've already spent $300 million plus in Franklin, Louisiana. Brownsville was doing their best to compete against an existing yard in Louisiana. Solano County was never in the running. We were only connected because at least two of the investors in California Forever are also Saronic investors. But this was all a big smoke screen, another big play by California Forever. Last Saturday, I attended a California Forever open house. I was there for the entire 2 hours. During that time, I believe less than 40 people in total attended. At least three of those, okay, at least a third. I'm done?
Yes.
Your time is
Oh.
up, yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you. I know that we'll hear from you again, so don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
Caller with phone number ending in 84, please press *6 to unmute yourself and state your name if you wish. You have 3 minutes.
Charlene Schmidt, and I am very happy to. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
great. This is Charlene Schmidt, and I am very happy to speak to you for the first time. It appears as though I'm not represented on that panel as I live in District 4, and we are short a representative for that district. So I'm going to speak on behalf of the people in the District 4, especially those of us that live in the unincorporated part of the county. I did attend last week's city council meeting in Vacaville, and I am very, very concerned about the Northeast Development Plan. And I understand that in order for that to happen, the Solano County needs to give 700 or 800 acres of county land to the city so that they can pour concrete over our farms. I'm one of these farms, not exactly in their path, but I'm a half mile off of their path. I really would like to have some transparency as to what is the role? How does this process work? A city wants to annex. This is happening everywhere. This is happening in Sassoon. They're talking about the pilot truck stop at Pleasant Valley. How does a city take county land? And how does a constituent who doesn't have any voting abilities or say in the city speak up for our county lands? I don't want more growth. I want our farms to stay farms. We need our food. And if the county continues to give away the county land, we're going to have concrete. And so I don't know what the process is, but I'm here for the first time. Again, my name is Charlene Schmidt. I'm with Integrity Alpacas and Fiber. That's my ranch. And I will be back, and I will be back with the neighborhood because we're not informed about this. I've been here since before 2015 when Vacaville started this growth plan. I have never been informed. I've not been brought into a discussion panel, any surveys or whatnot, because I'm not in the city. As a county, prior to annexing our lands to a city, we should have some input. So if there's not already a process to get input from your unincorporated residents, landowners, business owners, and farm food producers, there needs to be one put in place. So I will continue to figure out how I can support District 4 voice until we have somebody sitting in the chair that can speak for us. I'm going to step up and be here. So I appreciate any support you can give me on telling me the right way to go, because I know there's a process. I just have no idea. Thank you so much.
Okay, we have a caller who is listed as anonymous, so please press *3 or *6 to unmute yourself.
Hello, my name.
Hello?
Hello, this is Gord Robinson. I hate California forever. Also, I hate trannies. I hate them so much. I hate them so much. And I also support the Vallejo police bending their badges. These filthy niggers.
Oh, no. We're cutting him off. Cut him off. No, we do not accept that language here. That is wrong, and you know better.
Next caller on the line, caller 66. Please, if you wish to speak under items from the public, please press *6 to unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I am really disappointed in the last person's comments. That was awful, but I'll just proceed with my own comments. So my name is Joseph. I'm a physician assistant at Solano County Family Health Services. And prior to starting working here, in August of 2024, I was assigned to Partnership Health Plan and specifically to Solano County Family Health Services as a patient. When I called to make an appointment to establish care, I was informed there were no appointments available at that time for new patients. So fortunately, I was 29 and not needing very serious health care. But I could imagine that other people like myself, new to the clinic, not able to get appointments, but needing more serious health care, ended up going to the emergency room for refills on psychiatric meds and blood pressure meds and medications for high cholesterol. These are very important things for patients because they prevent them from having mental health crises, heart attacks, and strokes. So probably, during that time, people were ending up in the emergency room more. That was costly and inefficient. At this time, Solano County Family Health Services has an amazing group of nurse practitioners and physician assistants taking care of patients. But I'm afraid that patients may not have that same access that they have now because of 3 reasons. One, these people, physician assistants and nurse practitioners recruited over the last 2 years, were promised a $50,000 bonus, retention bonus over 5 years. That bonus is no longer available because of mismanagement. I won't elaborate much more on that. Another reason there's an issue within the county family health services is we don't have a lab available. I can't check patients' blood sugars or urine testing, and that creates a lot of liability and problems for patient care. That is very challenging for us. Additionally, our most recent contract negotiations were not the most favorable compared to previous negotiations, and I think it's not surprising that the districts represented by Wanda Williams and Cassandra James, the Board of Supervisors who voted favorably for the public servants serving our amazing patients, those districts have the most needy people who use these county services, Medi-Cal, food stamps. And so I'm not surprised that those Board of Supervisors voted favorably for their public servants serving their constituents, and that the other Board of Supervisors whose constituents probably don't rely as much on public service didn't vote in favor of those contracts recently. And so I would really just like to request that management just keep working hard, support your employees, and I really want to express appreciation for other FQHCs and for my colleagues. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I have no other callers on the line and no other cards.
Okay. So, Ian, are there any other additions, deletions to the agenda?
No additions or deletions, but I am going to announce a change. We're planning to cancel the August 11th board meeting. So when we adjourn the meeting at the close today, we'll adjourn to August 25th, which is our next
25th?
scheduled meeting.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem. I apologize, August 25th? Okay. Okay. So, all right, so we don't, okay, so I need a motion to approve the agenda with the item that Ian just mentioned. Okay.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
All right. So I believe we're on consent now? Okay. It's just because I'm afraid to say something that we're moving okay, because something will happen, so I won't say that.
Okay. Callers on the line, if you wish to speak on an item on the consent calendar, please press *3 to raise your hand. Callers on the line, if you wish to speak on an item on the consent calendar, please press *3 to raise your hand. Okay, ma'am, I have no cards for a consent calendar item, and I have no callers raising their hands.
Okay. So, board members, do you have any comments on the consent? Okay, so it's been properly moved and seconded. All right.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Okay. So I believe we're on item 15. So if the clerk of the board would read item number 15, and I believe we get to see somebody. Yes, I love it. All right, so.
Consider allocating funding from the Solano County Housing Trust Fund in the amounts of $400,000 for a loan to EAH Housing and $200,000 for a grant to Napa Solano Habitat for Humanity. Consider deferring public facilities fees of $446,354 to EAH's Tabor Commons Development, and authorize the county administrator to execute all documents necessary to implement the board's direction, subject to county council approval.
All right, so staff, I guess you get to do a presentation.
I do. Good morning, Chair, members of the board, Ann Putney, Principal Management Analyst in the County Administrator's Office.
I think a little bit louder for you would be helpful.
Louder? Me?
Well, I know. It's an anomaly.
Is this okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, today we're asking you to consider providing Housing Trust Fund assistance to 2 affordable housing projects in Solano County and to defer county public facilities fees for one of those projects. The first project, Tabor Commons, is a 66-unit affordable housing development in Fairfield consisting of 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments. All units will be affordable to households earning no more than 70% of the area median income, with 41 of those units restricted to households earning no more than 30% of the area median income. For context, the current area median income for a 4-person household in Solano County is $124,600. EAH requested the $400,000 currently available in the Housing Trust Fund. Staff recommends providing this assistance as a loan bearing 3% simple interest with payments deferred until year 7. These are the same terms approved for the previous Housing Trust Fund loan. EAH also requested that the county waive or defer approximately $446,354 in public facilities fees, or to convert the fees to a residual receipts loan. Because the county has not previously waived public facilities fees, staff recommends deferral. Together, the recommended county loan and fee deferral represent less than 2% of the project's total development costs. I'll give you more detail on Tabor Commons shortly, and a representative from EAH Housing, Bryce Lockard, is here to answer any questions you may have. The next one is Harmony Village, which is a 10-home infill development near East Monte Vista Avenue in Vacaville. The project will consist of semi-detached, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes containing approximately 1,554 square feet each. These are provided by Napa Solano Habitat for Humanity. The homes will be sold to local families earning no more than 80% of the area median income. Again, for context, a family of fours is $124,600, or so 80% would be $110,000 a year. Staff recommends awarding Habitat the full fiscal year 26-27 Housing Trust Fund allocation of $200,000 as a grant. This represents slightly less than 4% of the project's estimated development cost. The CEO of Napa Solano Habitat for Humanity, Andrew Colleen, is here if you have any questions for him as well. Here's a brief summary of the Housing Trust Fund. The ordinance establishing the trust fund was passed in 2022 to create a mechanism to fund affordable housing projects and programs. A requirement to establish the Housing Trust Fund is that we must have an annual contribution that does not come from restricted federal or state funds. When the fund was established, the board agreed to transfer the annual allocation of $200,000 for affordable housing from the Community Investment Fund to the Housing Trust Fund to meet this requirement. I would like to talk a little bit about why we're not bringing forward an RFP for these funds. Typically we would, but because the amount available was relatively limited, staff deferred issuing another RFP while the fund accumulated additional resources. However, you may recall this is not the first time we've heard an item on the Tabor Commons project. It was originally heard in 2022 as a potential project to be funded by ARPA. The board recognized the project's affordable housing benefits, but elected not to provide ARPA funding because a significant award in the form of final approval from the multifamily housing program funds was still pending for the developer, and the board at that time decided not to tie up multiple millions of ARPA funds when there was no assurance that the funds the developer needed, or excuse me, no assurance that the ARPA funds would be spent within the required time frame.
Right.
Since then, the developer and the City of Fairfield have been in contact with staff several times to see if any funding was available. The developer now faces an approximately $1.8 million gap in financing due to increased costs. If it cannot demonstrate sufficient funding, they will likely be required to relinquish their tax credit allocation with notice due by the end of August. Habitat for Humanity has asked for financial support for Harmony Village, but did not request a specific funding amount. The county has a longstanding partnership with Habitat, most recently supporting the construction of 3 single-family homes near Allen Witt Park here in Fairfield. Staff is recommending the $200,000, the full amount of the 26-27 allocation. However, as a reminder, the board has the discretion to determine an appropriate award, not just for Habitat, but for EAH as well. Public facilities fees are imposed on new residential and commercial development to help fund county facilities needed to serve growth. So anytime there is an increase in the number of residents or employees within the county, it impacts county facilities. These include facilities supporting health and social services, criminal justice, parks, libraries, and certain general services functions. SB 937 became effective January 1st, 2025, and generally requires qualifying residential developments to pay applicable development impact fees at issuance of the first certificate of occupancy rather than at building permit issuance. So there's already a deferment period required. The applicable fee amount is generally based on the rate in effect when the building permit is issued. So SB 937 requires that that amount be frozen. EAH requested that the county waive or defer the fees or convert them to a residual receipts loan bearing 3% simple interest. The county has not previously waived public facilities fees, but has approved a fee deferral for another affordable housing project. Staff therefore recommends deferring the approximately $446,354 in fees until issuance of the first certificate of occupancy. Staff also recommends that the agreement require payment no later than 5 years after issuance of the building permit. Alternatively, the board could direct that the fees be converted to a residual receipts loan. Here's an updated site plan for Tabor Commons. The piece at the top where they're adding a large playground is new since the last time the board reviewed this project. You can see it, there's some green and some peach coloring up there. They've also added some more amenities, including a picnic area, teen rec area, bike storage, and dedicated storage lockers for residents. As I mentioned before, there would be 66 affordable units. The number of units is the same as when previously reviewed, but the affordability has changed in order to make the project more financially viable. The principal changes are that 20 units previously restricted at 20% of area median income would instead be restricted at 30% of area median income. And some units previously restricted at 40 or 50% would be restricted at 70%. But having 41 units restricted at 30% of area median income is still an amazing amount. 16 of those would still be reserved for individuals with intellectual or developmental disabilities. Here's a breakdown of the developer's funding and projected construction costs. In the bottom right corner, you can also see the City of Fairfield's contribution in the form of fee credits and project-based vouchers. There's also a 55-year affordability agreement to be recorded against this property. This slide shows the preliminary, we talked about Habitat for Humanity earlier. It's a great project for this infill location, and we'll have 5 well-designed buildings and provide homeownership opportunities for 10 local lower-income households who will provide at least 500 hours of sweat equity during early construction and will obtain an affordable loan where payments do not exceed 30% of their monthly gross income upon completion. So it will remain affordable for them. This slide shows the preliminary building elevations and lot layout. Larger versions can be provided upon request. So we are recommending that you consider approval of a $400,000 loan from the Housing Trust Fund to EAH Housing for Tabor Commons, that you consider approval of a deferral of $446,354 approximately in public facilities fees from EAH Housing for Tabor Commons, and that you consider approval of a $200,000 grant to Napa Solano Habitat for Humanity for Harmony Village. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, and again, both organizations are here as well in case you have any questions for them.
Before I go to Supervisor Mastering, that is name up first, do you need some water? Are you okay?
I am if I can get this mic to work. There we go. It does not. So my question is on the EAH funding request. You had indicated that they have a $1.8 million shortfall, and that if they don't obtain some type of funding before the end of August, they face potential consequences that threaten the project itself.
Correct.
Correct. So my question is, if we're going to give them $400,000, where are they going to get the other $1.4 million bucks? Are we just throwing good money out there? We could just, right? I mean, what's their plan? Where are we getting the other $1.4 million to stop them from tanking? Or is this 400 going to do that?
That's an excellent question, yes. If Bryce would come up, please.
We just have to show some forward progress, or do we got to come up with another $1.4 million bucks?
Good morning. The additional funds. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Bryce Lockhart. I'm the project manager for Tabor Commons. With your assistance, that helps our negotiating leverage with the City of Fairfield, who we're currently in discussion for additional funding in the form of impact fee credits and fee deferrals as well.
So I'm hearing it isn't a guarantee. This is just a, it makes it easier for us with the city of Fairfield and.
We're going to the city council for approval tonight, actually.
Okay.
We do have an MIP allocation, which is a College FA program, which sets us aside for a dedicated 4% bond allocation. So we are all but guaranteed for tax credit allocation, which makes us, which gives us relatively strong certainty that we will start construction within 180 days of the award in August, late August. And so we are expecting to start in February of next year. We do need additional commitment to fill this gap funding, and we respectfully request your assistance.
Okay.
If I may, before I go to Supervisor Williams, sorry. So I'll go to tonight's city council meeting because it's Fairfield. It's time for me to show up there.
Sure.
So the question that I have, if we said we agreed that we would give the funding, can we make a disclaimer that's you'll only get it if the city of Fairfield comes through with tonight's affirmative? I'm just trying to figure that one out. Can we stipulate that?
Yeah, from a legal matter, I don't know anything about the mechanics of the program and their funding sources, but for a board action, you could make a conditional grant.
Okay. Okay, great. All right, Supervisor Williams?
Thank you, Chair. My question, is there any deed restriction on the property? I mean, right now it's affordability, but for how long? Is there a 50-year deed restriction?
There'll be a regulatory agreement associated with the funding sources that'll tie itself to the property. And that'll be a term of 55 years.
That's what I wanted to hear. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Supervisor James, anything? Or come back to you later? Okay. Okay. So if I may, with my colleagues, I don't have an issue with, as long as we have a disclaimer that tonight's city council meeting for Fairfield would have to approve just based on what you talked about. And if that does not go through, then we are not going to grant you the funding that you're asking for. And I'm not sure how to put that in a motion, but that's the intent. And I'll be there tonight, so I can talk about it too.
I was just checking with the clerk to see if there's public comment on this.
Oh, my bad. I mean, sorry. Thank you.
That's fine. So I just didn't want you to.
No. I'm raring to go because I'm looking at people who don't have to sleep out on that kind of a thing. So yes, we do need to do public comment. I apologize.
Okay, the first speaker is, well, we had Bryce Lockard.
I did prepare a written statement. A lot of it we've already discussed, but since I have it in front of me, I'll just read it.
Please.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Bryce Lockard. I'm the project manager with EAH Housing. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm here to request the county's partnership in helping Tabor Commons, a 67-unit affordable housing community serving families earning between 30 and 70% of AMI, area median income. The project also includes 16 units dedicated to individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, with supportive services provided through the North Bay Regional Center. The project will transform a vacant infill site at 212 East Tabor Avenue into an all-electric, family-oriented community featuring solar, playgrounds, community gathering spaces, and long-term affordable housing. The project received a College FA Mixed Income Program Award in May and subsequently submitted its joint tax-exempt bond and 4% low-income housing tax credit application. This positions Tabor Commons as one of the strongest affordable housing opportunities currently advancing in Solano County. Following the submission of our financing applications, the project received an updated impact fee estimate that increased the impact fees by approximately $1.8 million. Today, we respectfully request the county's assistance through a deferral of county public facility fees and an allocation of county housing trust funds. While we recognize the county housing trust funds alone will not close the entire gap, a county commitment would significantly strengthen our discussion with the City of Fairfield regarding additional fee relief. Together, these partnerships can close the remaining gap and allow this much-needed project to move forward. Thank you for your consideration, and I am available to answer any additional questions.
Supervisor Williams.
My second question after hearing your statement, just say Fairfield didn't agree this evening, right? I'm just having a I'll say that word.
Hypothetical.
Yes, I couldn't get it out. I was like, it's right there.
Yeah.
Hypothetical. So, do you have another source of funding if Fairfield doesn't agree? And I'm asking you this because not often do you have units dedicated for, set aside for individuals with intellectual disability. And they do struggle immensely to find housing, to have their independence. So to me, this is a very important project, in my opinion. So is there a backup plan?
We do currently have funding from the North Beach Regional Center at $1.6 million. That represents about $100,000 per unit for the IDD units, intellectually and developmentally disabled units. As far as a backup strategy at this time, we do not necessarily have a backup strategy. There is no funding available to the project beyond what we're requesting from the county and the city for this project. And given our timing constraints related to the bond and tax credit award, there are no available options and beyond what we've requested.
All right, that concludes my questions. Thank you.
Anybody? Any other public comments?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next speaker is Gul Coley. And while Ms. Coley is coming up, callers on the line, if you wish to speak on agenda item number 15, please press *3 to raise your hand.
Chair and board, this is a very near and dear project to me because I was a child subject to public housing. My dad was a Vietnam vet that could not hold a job based on PTSD. And so this is a very, very important project. As a real estate agent in the Bay Area, I have had direct contact with some challenges around Habitat for Humanity. I have a client down in Walnut Creek that was a recipient of one of these houses, and she is currently still living. She had some health issues and wanted to actually sell her property in Walnut Creek. And unfortunately, through exhaustive meetings with the city and with Habitat for Humanity, they had, great systems in place to actually get people into the houses, but when they went to, when someone needs to go ahead and transition out of these houses, it is like the Hotel California, nearly impossible to get out. They have to repay all of these credits and she is now not able to go upstairs where her bedroom is, has to sleep in the living room because she cannot get out of this loan. So I'm asking you to make sure that provisions, and the city of Walnut Creek did not know what to do with this. Habitat for Humanity did not know what to do with this. So I ask the board, please, please, not only look at the provision on how to get these folks qualified into the housing, which is very important, but also when they need to transition out, they need to be able to have a clear pathway and an easy pathway. Thank you.
And do we have anybody here from Habitat for Humanity that could answer that?
We do. CEO Andrew Colleen is here.
Madam Chair, Supervisors, my name is Andrew Colleen. I'm the Executive Director and the CEO for Solano Napa Habitat for Humanity. And I appreciate the question that came up about a habitat house that was sold to a partner family in Walnut Creek. This is the first I've heard about this case, so I'm very happy to speak about how Habitat operates in general, and specifically how we operate here in Solano and Napa counties. We do record deed restrictions on the homes, and with this particular development we have coming up, I know it may sound a little off topic, but the process we're going to be using here would have been very similar, I imagine, to what happened in Walnut Creek. And that was when we have, as we do now in Vacaville, a piece of land that we intend to develop. We call orientation meetings, where we call folks who may be interested in applying to attend the orientation meeting. During the meeting, we explain all the provisions of the program, what it would take to become a partner family based on need, willingness to partner, and ability to pay. And one of those provisions, too, the willingness to partner, is they provide up to 500 hours of sweat equity to build their homes. And in many instances, they receive a 0% interest 30-year loan, which requires, of course, periodic payments monthly, but we also record a soft second to make those monthly payments affordable. We assure folks during the orientation meeting that the monthly housing payments will be no more than 30% of their income. And that's what accommodates an affordable loan. The deed restriction states that if the partner family decides to sell in a year or in 25 years, the soft second becomes due. The affordable loan requires monthly payments. The soft second becomes due on sale. And that's generally, again, I can only speak for my own affiliate. I know that the East Bay Silicon Valley affiliate that covers Walnut Creek does an extremely good job of what they do too. And so for my own affiliate, if the partner family went to sell, we would pull up the deed restrictions and go through. The first thing that we record is a first right to purchase. And the terms of that first right to purchase are spelt out in the deed restriction too. At what price can we buy it back? That the soft second is going to become due. There would even be costs to the homeowner to restore the home to a saleable value as well. So it's a partnership, and in return for receiving an affordable loan resulting in payments of no more than 30% of their income to a low-income family earning between 50 and 80% of the area median income, there are requirements that make the program sustainable. And I'd be happy to sit down and review what it is that we do in more detail, but really it's to East Bay Silicon Valley to address those in particular with you or the relative you have.
You not only have that soft second, but you have a restriction on how much they can sell that property for. You have two rights of refusal that include Habitat for Humanity and the city itself. It made it impossible for her to resell her home, and now she is stuck there.
Yeah.
No recourse.
Yeah.
No equity. Nothing.
So
I can't speak to the details there,
No.
but I can say that the restrictions must have been disclosed at the time of sale, and there would be, if the affiliate doesn't exercise the first, it's quite possible there's a public agency that has a second right of refusal. We're acquiring land in Vacaville. If a home goes up for sale, we might, if we don't exercise our first, the city would have an option to exercise the second. And then there should be a way for them to sell it on the open market. But the original DDA will probably require them to sell it at an affordable price to another low-income member of the community. And that's recorded because the public agency wants to keep that land in the affordable space. Mostly for 45 years if it was redevelopment agency land. That's the case on this property in Vacaville. It was the case on the Walnut property here in Fairfield. As it turns out, we record a deed restriction that will keep it in the affordable space in perpetuity. And our deed restrictions assure the homeowner that they will get all of their principal payments back. I don't know specifically. I'm sure even in East Bay, I don't know how long ago this loan was originated, but inevitably over the decades, some terms change in those deed restrictions, and I think it requires a deep dive as to what was recorded on that title.
So I'll let you guys talk off, when I say off camera, at least we've connected you. It seems to me, just looking at it, is that this particular woman probably at the time had all the intentions of living there, but now she's physically unable to stay in her home. So I would think there's got to be some way, my opinion, to make this happen so that she can live somewhere nice, but that she can still move to a bedroom. So that sounds so. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys figure that one out. But that is a concern that maybe something needs to be added, that if you, as a lot of us age, there's going to be an issue with some of the folks who have bought a home thinking, yeah, I apologize, say the word again.
That life happens.
Life happens, yeah, exactly. So that's scary to me. I'm just saying, it's scary to me that you might have broken a leg, you might have done whatever it is. You could have gotten Alzheimer's, I don't know, whatever it might be, and you want to be able to stay there. So there's got to be something. So I'm just saying, so anyway.
Yeah, if I may, just one last comment, that on these 10 homes that we're proposing in Vacaville, we will record deed restrictions that would facilitate if 25 years down the line the person needed to go elsewhere, they could retrieve the equity they have in the home, assuming the house is intact. I mean, there would be net of repairs, but generally speaking, and we've only had to repurchase a few homes, there's been sizable payments made on the part of our affiliate to acquire those homes again.
Okay, so the two of you will figure it out, and I wish you guys a lot of luck, especially with the person that you've been working with, that she can be safe. I guess that's how I would look at it. All right, anybody else in terms of public comment?
I have no other cards, and the caller on the line did not.
All right, anybody from the board? Oh yes, Miss James, now I see your name.
Thank you, Chair. Just a question, I wasn't paying attention. So will Fairfield pay the remaining amount, or is that what they're approving tonight for the gap if we move forward with this for EAH?
Hi, Bryce Lockard. We will move forward tonight on a consent item for $800,000 in additional impact fee credit. And in addition to nearly $450,000 deferral and a $400,000 housing trust fund loan, that makes the gap more manageable, and potentially we could find some cost savings in construction to meet that.
So, and with that, because it is approximately like $760,000 per door. So, like, why is it that much per door for an affordable housing project like this? I'm looking at the total budget divided by how many doors.
Yeah, I mean, we build quality affordable housing. It is affordable to
What does
tenants.
quality mean? Sorry, like if you could just
It's
elaborate
high quality
on that.
finishes. We're not building with shoddy materials. We build with prevailing wage labor. We deliver housing that would be acceptable for the market. That is just priced lower because we are assisted by subsidies.
Okay, and why only 25 PBVs versus why not increasing that versus the light tech?
Sure.
Thank you.
That's the maximum that the City of Fairfield's Housing Authority, they've maxed out.
Okay, thank you for that. No, thank you.
Great, thank you.
Okay, before we go any farther, anybody, public comment? Okay, anybody up here on the board? All right, so this is how I'm looking at it. We'll figure out how to make the motion happen. Should the city of Fairfield vote on consent, or however they're bringing it forward tonight, for what the gentleman just indicated that they need, then I believe that we should be able to give the money that we have listed here in recommendations. If it does not happen, I definitely will email all of you guys tomorrow. It didn't happen, so we now will have to figure out how we want to do the loan that will not be going to you. And I just want to make sure, Tabor Commons, didn't we already build that, part of that already, off of Tabor? Why does that look familiar to me? Why does that look familiar to me?
The county acquired a piece of property off of Tabor Avenue that we are currently using for housing. And it was an item that I wasn't allowed to vote on, if you remember. But that was on Tabor Avenue.
Okay.
So that project that you're referring to is the Park Rose Gardens project, which was an ARPA purchase project, still in process.
Okay.
So that's part of it. The other part, I think, as Ann mentioned earlier, which is Tabor Commons, has been talked about for quite some time. They've been working towards moving forward with this project for a number of years, including us bringing an item to the board for consideration under ARPA years back. So that's probably part of the recollection.
So as my head goes through when I'm looking at everything popping up from the computer, that is why it seems familiar, because we talked about it.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Because it just kind of looked familiar to me.
So to that end, I'd like to make
Yes.
a motion that we approve the staff's recommendation stipulating that the stipulating the condition that the city of Fairfield approve their portion of the project.
Second.
Okay,
A pass muster for everybody.
it does for me.
Just for clarity, that also includes the grant to.
That's everything.
Habitat
Yeah,
as well.
everything on the recommendation page.
Wait,
What?
question. If it's, should it be bifurcated or no? Because there's two different projects here.
I'm understanding Supervisor Mashburn's motion to be that you're going to approve all the recommended actions, but with number one of those recommended actions is conditioned upon the city of Fairfield taking action tonight to contribute to the project.
I just want to make sure it was clear.
That's a fair, distinction.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So now I'm just. You are going to invite us all, right? Because we want to be there. Okay, just checking.
So ordered by.
I mean, if you wanted my approval, I want to be there. Oh my gosh. Okay, we made it through. Yes. Thank you, Ann, and staff for putting it all together. Thank you for coming and speaking. I will see you tonight. We're starting at this normal time, right? They're not changing the time? Okay, this is Fairfield, you never know.
That's new.
Okay. All right. So to the clerk of the board, I think we're on 16, and if that's the case, then I need you to read the title, please.
Receive the 2025 Solano County Crop and Livestock Report from the Agricultural Commissioner, Sealer of Weights and Measures.
Yay! I have to tell you, I just love this. This is so cool. So, this is nice.
Thanks to Matthew.
All right.
On the design.
Thank you, Matthew. Did a great job as usual.
That is a wonderful picture that did Matthew.
I love it. Okay, all right, the floor is you.
Well, good morning, Board. Ed King, Agricultural Commissioner, and Matt Carl, Deputy Commissioner. Very pleased to be here to share the 2025 Crop and Livestock Report with you. The crop report is our annual review and summary of agricultural production in the county, looking back over the previous calendar year. It has information on all the crops and livestock produced in the county last year, including data on harvested acreages, yields, and gross production values. I'm going to start off with the presentation today. I'll take you through the top 10 crops, and then we'll turn to Matt to address some of the additional features in the crop report. So we do come with some good news today. We have calculated the total gross production value for agriculture in the county for 2025 to be $476,209,000. This is over a $38 million increase from 2024. It also sets a new record high value for ag production in the county, topping the previous high of $460 million from 2023. Almonds are the top crop for the second consecutive year, and it's the first time the almond crop has gone above $100 million in gross value. There's over 100 commodities accounted for in the report, and the report also showcases our commodity exports, pest prevention, pesticide use enforcement, certified farmers markets, and weights and measures programs, which Matt will help cover here momentarily. This graph here shows how the gross value of ag production in the county has trended between 2000 all the way up to 2025. And over the past 8 years, we've alternated between a year when the value's been up and then a year when it tailed off some and then back up again. We're on a high point for 2025, but generally trending upwards through time here. And then this chart shows the values broken out by commodity groupings. So you can see the fruit and nut sector at the bottom portion of the pie accounts for 37% of the total value. Over the past 10 years, the fruit and nut sector has averaged about 30%. So with the almond crop, most notably, growing in value over the past few years here, and fruit and nuts just kind of across the board up in value last year. Fruit and nut sector is occupying a larger proportionate share of the overall value. Then we have vegetable production in at 23% of the total value. That's spot on with the 10-year average for where vegetable production is in relation to the other categories. And then we have animal production, which includes cattle and sheep, of course, but poultry, milk, and bees is typically around 18 to 20%, so a little bit of an uptick here at 22%, mainly because cattle and sheep values were up last year. Mm-hmm. And then the field and forage sector is the one portion here that has kind of been on a steady decline in relation to the other categories over the past 10 to 15 years. There's been a decline in overall value in field crops, but more so here in looking at this graph in relation to the other sectors. It's that the other sectors have continued to grow, where field and forage has kind of remained flat or tailed off a little bit. But we've seen big increases in fruit, nuts, vegetables, and animal production value consistently over time. And then nursery industry is typically around 10%, and seed crops are usually around 3 to 4% of the total value. So both those sectors had a down year last year, so are representing a little smaller share of the overall value.
Just a quick question. When we talk about the field and forage, have we had a reduction in the production area of that? In other words, has there been acreage that's been taken out of production because it's been purchased for something else and sits fallow now? Or is that reduction because there's just been a dip in the market?
More so that we've seen a shift into the other commodity groupings,
So they're
primarily
moving
fruit and nut.
So they're putting orchards in?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Okay, this brings us to the top 10, and here's almonds again, number 1 at $108,107,000. This is an increase of almost $30 million from the previous year. And at $108 million, this is now also the highest value crop that we've seen in the county. It tops the 2023 tomato crop, which came in at 101 million. That 2023 tomato crop was the first time we'd had a crop go over 100 million. Now almonds has done the same and then some. And what we've seen with almonds over the past 3 years is that year after year, or year over year for the past 3, there's been fewer and fewer new almond orchards being planted. However, the orchards that have been planted over the past 5-6 years everything's now coming into full production. So we also saw the largest almond crop we have to date last year at 23,700 tons. And for some perspective on where that puts us in the enormity of the overall California almond industry, that's a little less than 2% of the total harvest, which is on order last year of 1.3, 1.4 million tons. And almond prices have also gained 3 years running now. But if you look back 10 years, almond prices were around $4,500 a ton. Then they proceeded to kind of run flat for a couple of years and then decline, and now have picked up 3 years back to $4,500, $4,600 a ton. They may be doing a little better this year, but UC Davis estimates in the same time frame that almond farmers are facing a 70% increase in their operating costs. Well, here they are, growers are now still getting paid where they were 10 years ago. This photo, by the way, is fairly representative of what a good portion of the northeastern part of the county looks like this time of year nowadays in almonds. Cattle is in at number 2, up dramatically from $48 million in 2024 to $65,369,000 in 2025. Looking across the country at the nationwide beef cattle inventory, it continues to hover along at historically low levels due to either prolonged drought in some parts of the country or lingering effects of drought. There's high production costs, but there's still yet strong demand for beef. So prices are elevated, so ranchers continue to move more cattle to market in favor of holding some cattle back and rebuilding the herd just as of yet. We're also seeing the reemergence of an invasive pest called the New World screwworm. It's a pest of livestock. The screwworm is actually a fly that will lay its eggs in an open wound on cattle or sheep or goats or in mucous membranes as well, a band of people, mammals in general. And then when those eggs will hatch, they feed in the wound, and that can cause secondary infection and be fatal if not promptly addressed. So screwworm is native to South America and the Caribbean. It's been effectively controlled in decades past by releasing sterile flies into the environment. Sterile male fly will breed with female fly. Female will lay eggs that won't hatch. And then once she breeds once, she's done. So you can effectively control the population by releasing these sterile flies en masse into the environment. That's been used to full effect in past decades in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. USDA and Mexican authorities did so to push screwworm out of the U.S. and down through Mexico, back into Central America, and further south. However, in recent years, now it's made its way back up through Central America, through Mexico, and there's pockets of infestation in Texas. So that's all to say that this time last year, USDA closed the southern border to cattle imports from Mexico, which has further constrained and restricted supplies and is helping keep the prices elevated too. So no detections of screwworm in California as of yet. Our State Department of Food and Ag is monitoring along the southern border there. USDA actually announced just last week that they're going to look into open one of the Arizona ports later this month. And they're rebuilding all their capacity and infrastructure to start rearing and releasing sterile flies by the millions. And in time, that should control the population.
But if it was done all the time that it should be, it would not have reached where it is right now. There's something to be said for letting people have their government jobs.
Processing tomatoes are in at number 3 at 50,266,000. This is down around 5.5 million from the previous year. The tomato processors, the canneries, entered last year, generally speaking, with more or less sufficient inventories on hand. So they didn't contract for an increase in tonnage, an increase of tomatoes. And then accordingly, prices dropped from $114 a ton to $109 a ton. Similar scenario this year, prices are down to $104 a ton. And then we had some rain at the beginning of October that slowed things down, and then more rain in the middle of October that effectively ended harvest before everything could come in. Although the total harvest ended up at 465,000 tons, which is just shy of the 20-year average of 470,000 tons. Wine grapes are in at number 4. So despite the ongoing downturn in the wine market, the wine economy, we're posting a slight gain here, up 2% to a little over $31 million. So white wine grape value overall was down 7% last year. Reds were up 7%, largely because Petit Syrah, Cabernet, and Zinfandel all showed overall gains last year. A couple of the whites did too. Pinot Gris and Sauvignon Blanc increased overall as well, not to the degree that the reds did, but those 5 varietals kind of offset losses elsewhere and are kind of helping the overall value just kind of tread water, which under the circumstances is probably saying something. Grape prices coming out of the pandemic picked up for a couple years and then kind of went flat and now declined. The harvest here last year was the smallest we've seen since 2017. Some vineyards in Sassoon Valley here, more so out on Rye Island, did not get picked last year due to lack of market, lack of buyer. And if you zoom out and you look at the whole total statewide picture right now, just 2 years ago, the total grape harvest, wine grape harvest for crush was 3.6 million tons of grapes. And then just 2 years later, it had dropped. So 2025 number was 2.6 million tons. So that's a massive adjustment or downscaling just over a 2-year period. I'll leave you on a high note with wine grapes, though, that remember that Sassoon Valley was voted the #1 wine region by USA Today readers last year. So there is something special about Sassoon Valley, and to some degree, holding its own in the current situation. And wine grape value, looking back a decade to 2015, was under $15 million. Now we're, even under the circumstances, we're double that. Then we have nursery products in at number 5 at $28,270,000. This is a decline of $10 million from the previous year, largely because we had one of our biggest nurseries go through a bankruptcy last year. Now, I don't think that was anything specific to Solano. They operate across the state, across multiple states. So they've restructured and organized, and so hopefully we're going to continue to have a strong nursery industry with that entity here in the county moving forward. Alfalfa is number 6. Alfalfa prices declined last year, but we had a little bit more acreage in production, which led to an overall bigger crop, which is driving the increase in value here from 15.2 million to 16.6 million. And then walnuts are up 5% to 15.25 million. Walnut prices, like almonds, have gained 3 years in a row. It was just a few years ago that walnuts hit absolute rock bottom at 30, 40 cents a pound. We have them at 90 cents a pound in the report this year. That's a long ways away from highs of 10, 12 years ago when they were $1.75 a pound. So the harvest last year was the smallest that the county's seen since 2003 as well. Over the past few years, we've seen a lot of walnuts, as they've gone through this transition, come out of production. And those grounds have now gone into almonds or pistachio or field crops. However, we do have a number of walnut orchards that are in a state of neglect or abandonment. And that is a problem. It's causing increased pest pressures for neighboring properties where farmers are still actively growing almonds or walnuts. And so we've been fielding a fair number of complaints about that over the past couple years now. We're trying to work through that on both sides. Probably ideally that those trees get pulled out and those properties cleared. Barring that, those property owners need to do a base amount of pest control to mitigate damages and impacts to their neighbors. So that's an issue that we're continuing with. Matt's been doing surveillance and working on this issue, mapping exercises to kind of quantify where we're at with that. He estimates we have about 1,300 acres that are in this situation or condition of neglect.
My question is just what mechanism do we have to, for enforcement to assure that that pest mitigation is taking place? You know, it's just like with a fire break, when people don't want to mitigate for fires, we have a mechanism for that, right? But what do we have for this when we have potential impacts to other farmers in the area?
First and foremost, we're trying to gain cooperation, have them come in, understand the situation, get a pesticide permit, start, as I said, some base level of control to mitigate. Barring that or non-cooperation in that direction, we issue a warning letter. If that still doesn't move the needle, then we just as of this year, legislation passed that allows ag commissioners, grants us civil penalty authority to pursue more forcefully and issue a proposed monetary penalty.
Okay, just wanted to make sure there was some teeth in it to make sure we were getting some
We haven't
compliance
gone
and
that
not-
far as of yet, but we're moving in that direction.
Understand. I just want there to be further impact to the actual producing ag in the county. Yeah.
I was reading, and in Fresno, the pistachio crop, because of when the rain and everything came through, there's nothing or surrounding the seed. I mean, there's no, whatever one would eat. I don't like pistachios. So however they come out, there's nothing there inside. Yeah, the shell, which I thought was trippy.
Yeah. Well, we had a very warm spring. We had an exceptionally warm spring that coincided with pistachio pollination. So that, they're going to see a significant crop loss in further south in the valley. Okay, number 8 is prunes. Prunes continue to be the largest tree fruit crop in the county. We estimate 1,800 acres harvested last year at a total gross value of 12.3, almost 12.4 million. Apiary pollination is in at number 9 at 9.3 million. This is pretty consistent with the valuation of what we've seen for apiary pollination in the past few years. Most of this value is attributed to almond pollination. We see a big influx of beehives into the county every January and February gearing up for almond bloom. And then we have field corn at number 10. This is corn that's grown for grain and or animal feed versus fresh market sweet corn. First time field corn has been in the top 10 crops since 2014. So in the last 2 years, growers have pivoted just a little more to corn as the tomato acreage has dropped off. Sunflower acreage has dropped the past couple years, although it's back up this year, and for lack of other more desirable, profitable options right now. So we estimate 5,700 acres of corn harvested in the county last year. Looking back into the early 80s, field corn was the top crop in 82 and 83. In 83, there was 55,000 acres of field corn planted in the county. That's enough corn to cover the entire Dixon Ridge from Davis to Dixon to Vacaville up to Winters, just corn. Now we have 10% of that, and we think it's a lot. So times change. That's a wrap on the top 10. I could pause if there are more questions, or we'll shift it over to Matt. Keep going.
Thank you. So in reference to the alfalfa, I did not recognize that location. Is that District 5 or 4? For
This photo?
This photo for alfalfa.
I think it's 4. It's right on the border.
It's on, okay,
Yeah,
it's
just
over there by
outside
the
of Vacaville.
505 area? Is that where it is? You know, you can go up to 505 and then
It's just south, on the south side
South
of 80 there. Yes, in the vicinity. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I just was like, I think I know that location. Okay, thank you. That was all. Thank you for your report. Thank you for your hard work.
Now, so Matthew, did you take pictures or did you take pictures, Ed?
It's a team effort.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired of being inside and I need to get out effort. I'm just teasing.
We have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, Matthew helps. Matthew both help.
Oh, I forgot, that's right. You guys are the twins, yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Now, this was phenomenal, and I love it. It also people need to understand that not only do we create a lot in terms of the economy, in terms of Solano County, but that we feed people, and that is why we need to keep our land pristine, and that we use it in a proper fashion, and we don't pave over it. My opinion. Supervisor Williams.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, are we good? All right. So, since it was a presentation. Oh, there's still more? Oh, no, there. I apologize. I figured since we were looking at part of the United States in terms of the rest of the world that we were good. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry, Ed.
A few more slides if we can, please.
It's okay, we're fine.
Yeah.
We'll be quick. We'll be quick. So our growers exported over 640 certificates for ag products last year and shipped to 32 countries. Most exports are hay going to Japan or South Korea, but other businesses also shipped almonds, dried fruit, endive, nursery stock, seed, and wine barrels. And in 2025, we issued certificates to 37 local farmers, allowing them to sell at certified farmers markets. And we actively have 8 markets in 6 out of the 7 locations in our county.
That's good.
At this time. Yeah. In our agricultural protection and safety work, we monitored over 2,300 invasive insect detection traps, inspected over 7,000 plant shipments coming into our county, rejected 360 of those shipments that either were found to have pests or violated quarantine or plant shipment regulations. We've intercepted 49 invasive pests. We've issued 270 pesticide permits for farmers or other property owners to use pesticides, and we conducted over 450 pesticide use safety inspections with farmers and agricultural landscape maintenance operators and structural pest control operators. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to take this opportunity because it right now is, you're covering it. I want to thank staff for this year's response, especially on the sharpshooter and everything that staff has done to protect these crops. You see how significant to our vintners and to great production what it means to our county. You guys are small but mighty. There's not a lot of y'all to go out and do that. You take on a big old chunk of land looking for these things and getting these critters out of here. And I'm appreciative of you guys being out there doing that all the time and the effort that it takes. I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people appreciative of you guys making that effort on behalf of us and the Suisun Valley. So thank you.
Thank you. So speaking of,
You got ahead of us.
Segue. Look at there. Okay.
So glass-swimming sharpshooter is our persistent nemesis. This slide, this graph here, shows the number of adult detections that we've had over the life of our eradication project area in Vacaville's Browns Valley neighborhood. You can see in 23, 24, and 25 we were making steady progress. However, we've regressed and taken a small step back this year. We've had 5 detections in June and July, 4 of which were clustered on 2 neighboring properties, so a little bit of alarm, but we still have intensified monitoring and surveillance in this area. We're still optimistic that we're going to win out in the end and get to a point of complete eradication. However, We and just about every other Northern California county now are contending with a new glassy wing sharpshooter threat, in that we had a Fresno County nursery in April and May ship 10,000 grapevines, many of which were infested with glassy wing sharpshooter, to Costco stores all over Northern California, including Vallejo, Vacaville, and Fairfield. So 420 vines came into our county. We arrested or were able to stop some of those before they made it out on the sales floor. We've accounted for 75% of the 420 right now. As we speak, staff are going out this week and doing door hangers on the remaining properties. Despite multiple attempts, we have not, certain property folks we have still just haven't been, they've been non-responsive. We haven't been able to connect with them. So that's what we're working on this week, to still trying to track down the balance of those. We have found sharpshooters related to these Costco shipments at one residence here in Fairfield and one on the east side of Vacaville. So we're continuing to do enhanced monitoring now at all these locations where we know people bought grapevines and took them out into their communities. And our colleagues throughout Northern California counties are doing the same thing. So enhanced surveillance through the rest of the summer into the fall here, and then we will reconnoiter with our colleagues and State Department of Food and Ag this fall and winter, and see where we're at that point.
But is there any way to go after the folks that did not do their due diligence and get some sort of monetary contribution back for all the work you guys are doing to clean up basically somebody's incompetence?
We're in contact with the deputy DA who's assigned to agriculture, and she's engaged with multiple other counties too, and pending potential action at some point.
Okay. Supervisor Williams?
Thank you. I have been receiving some calls from the Valley, not that they've spotted any sharpshooters, but just concern, the concern, the impact to the grapevines, and just how this particular species really enjoy grapes just as much as we do. But my question is, because I have received all the information, I have shared it publicly in newsletters and everything else, and social media. But my question is there anything more we could do to eradicate this? Because, there's been a push for me to make sure that I am staying abreast of what's going on with this and all the different steps that we're taking to eradicate it.
Well, as I said, we're doing enhanced surveillance. We have traps set out across the county, particularly in the areas now where people bought these Costco grapevines. And we're doing additional outreach to as I said, the outstanding properties today. And in our eradication area, we're doing door-to-door surveys as well. So I think we're doing just about everything we can at the moment here. We're kind of in a wait-and-see approach.
So my second question about this particular species, so does it go dormant in the winter, and then, I mean, once we go door to door and do what we can, right? For next year, is it? I don't really know about the species, so is it?
We will plan to have this enhanced level of monitoring likely for some time now.
Oh, okay.
So, because the populations can be difficult to detect. They overwinter as adults, and they're typically not active once the temperatures cool off below 60 or 55 degrees.
Okay, but it doesn't kill them, the cold
No,
air.
it doesn't. We don't get cold. We need like a super freeze, which we haven't had in Browns Valley here. So to do something that would to a level that would be effective.
Okay. All right, that's all I wanted to know. I just was wondering more about this. I guess I'm going to have to study up on this. All right, thank you.
And finally, in our weights and measures work, the staff have tested and did over 8,000 commercial weighing and measuring devices, including electric vehicle charging stations. And they've also inspected 162 retail stores and nearly 3,500 items for pricing accuracies that resulted in finding overcharges on 2.8% of all items inspected. Roughly 3 out of 100 items purchased were charged at an amount higher than the posted price, ranging from 10 cents to $100.
That concludes the presentation.
I was fine with it being over earlier if you wanted, really. It's all good with that.
Yeah, I guess we didn't script that as well. But, just thank you, if I may, thank you all the farmers and ranchers who contributed information to help us build the report, and staff as well. And again, to Matthew for doing the design year after year now.
I did have a question on the overcharges. So what happens when you catch them overcharging for the charging? I mean, what happens?
Depending on the enforcement history on that, or compliance history on that location, we typically start with and what the level of overcharge was and the impact to the consumer. We may start with a warning letter or elevate directly to an administrative civil penalty.
Okay, I'm like, wait a minute, they're overcharging people. What happens with them? All right, so we do monitor them ongoing, just to make sure they're staying in compliance. And if, just say they're habitual breakers of these rules, is it revoked from them? I mean, what happens?
We would continue to elevate the civil penalty amounts, and looked, if it's a chain store, we would look across to other counties to see if it's a persistent problem across multiple jurisdictions. District attorneys occasionally will take up cases if there is a multi-county issue going on. This is a program we've been building over the past few years now, and we're really kind of getting up to speed with it now.
All right, well, I'm glad you're doing something about it. Thank you.
Public comments?
May I got to follow on. I'm sorry, I didn't hit my little button.
No, that's fine, and then we just need to get to public comments also.
I just wanted to ask if, and council, tell me if this is not okay, but I'd like to see a report out so the public knows also who those offenders are who are overcharging them. At least a report to the board. You may not have to come out and call them out by name right here, but at least, just like when we have the folks who don't pay their garbage bill, I won't mention any names, but when we have the folks who don't pay their garbage bill, we have no problem calling out citizens on that. Well, I think we should be calling out the businesses, the citizens have a right to know who's overcharging them, especially if they're repeat offenders or if they're a big corporate chain. I think that matters. So I would like to see a report out to the board on that.
Do you know if you maintain those as confidential records? I think generally enforcement records are public, but maybe we can talk offline about it. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I will get one, maybe I won't. All right.
I love it. All right, public comments.
Okay. Charlene, we can see you have your hand raised, so please go ahead and press *6 and state, oh, well, we know your name, Charlene Schmidt. Go ahead and speak.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say that I loved this report. I think it shows exactly what our county has to offer as far as agriculture goes. I wonder if in the future, not to provide more work for Matthew crew, if we could kind of keep track of what we would be losing in these numbers should Sassoon annex that farmland. We would have a definite drop in sheep and cow, cattle reserve funds, and then with the Northeast annexation for Vacaville, we would lose a ton of fruit and nut tree and alfalfa production. So I think if we were watching those closely and could project out what would happen if you gave away or somehow, I don't know how, again, I need to learn about what it does it mean to annex something, but somehow if you were to relinquish that property, what are we going to lose? Because there's a lot of money here that is part of what represents Solano County. But thank you for the report, and I'm glad to be a part of those numbers.
Thank you. Ms. Coley?
Hats now, from real estate agent to the president of the Pleasance Valley Ag Association. I'm Gall Cully. Today I'd like to celebrate some wonderful news for Solano County. The newly released 2025 Crop and Livestock Report tells an incredible story. This year, Solano County agricultural generated nearly $500 million in gross agricultural production, making it the highest agricultural production value in the country, in the county's 76-year history. That's something every resident of Solano County should be proud of and should know about. The report also highlights historical milestones. Almonds became the second commodity in the county history to exceed $100 million in annual value, and our cattle industry reached a record production as well. These achievements reflect dedication, innovation, and resilience of the farmers and ranchers who continue to feed our communities and steward our lands. I want to thank the Agricultural Commissioner and the staff for producing such an exceptional report for this important work that they do every day to support agriculture. But as I read the report, however, one thing stayed with me. While agriculture continues to set records here in our county, it is often absent from the public conversation about Solano County's major economic drivers. Our Economic Development Corporation highlights many industries, but very little or nothing about the agricultural sector. I believe agriculture deserves to stand alongside healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, biotechnology, and government as one of the foundational industries that drives our local economy. The crop report itself reminds us that nearly $500 million value represents only the farm gate value and does not include the multiplier effect created through food processing, transportation, equipment, finance, wineries, agritourism, and many businesses that depend on agriculture. My hope is that we tell the full story of Solano County's economy. Agriculture just isn't a part of our history. It is one of the greatest strengths today, and it deserves to be recognized as much. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have no other cards and no other speakers.
Okay. Any other comments to the board? Are we good? Okay. All right. There's, I love the fact that you made it to this side of Solano County, though I have to let you know, I do think of you when I drive on Cordelia Road. All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, thank you, guys. That was great. Thank you, Matt. Both Matts. So, all right, so we're at that portion of, are there any comments from the board? Anything that the board wants to talk about or bring forward or tell us what you've done or whatever it is we're doing? Yep, comments.
Thank you. Is it okay I go first? Okay, just want to make sure. All right, I just wanted to share that on Saturday, I'm resharing. On Saturday, August 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at Anna Kyle Elementary School, I'll be hosting a diaper giveaway and resource fair in honor of National Breastfeeding Month. We will have not only resources. Right now we have, I think, up to 2,000 diapers to give away. This is free and open to the public, but we'll also have food as well to give away. I want to thank Food is Free for their partnership, but this is also in partnership with First 5 Solano and Partnership Health plan. So I just wanted to thank them for their support, and I do believe North Bay has just joined us as well. And then I also wanted to announce that Justice Wright, she is an intern in my office. She returns this year to work in the office. So you'll be seeing her in the hallways. She is actually a graduate from Buckingham Collegiate Chapter Academy, and she's an honor student. So I just wanted to acknowledge Justice, just welcome her back to the area and to my office, so we can continue to work on some things that we're working on. And I think that is all I needed to share at this time. Again, thank you, and just wanted to say to everyone who has small children, may you have a wonderful back to school. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I am so glad I don't have to go. Supervisor James?
As I get prepared for back to school, but I am excited. Just two things, well, three. There are 2 backpack giveaways, or back to school giveaways in Vallejo this Saturday. One will be held at the GVRD Sports Gym, and it is set up like a market where you could choose your own backpack, school supplies, and there will be shoes, 3 youth to 7 youth. It starts at 11 a.m. And then next Saturday, there will be another backpack giveaway hosted by Fresh Prince, August 15th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Dick Pass Park in North Vallejo. And I want to read Adjourn in Memory of Patricia Ann Barber, also known as Pat. Pat was born in Washington, D.C. to Euless Grant Jacobs and Lossie W. Jacobs. Her family later moved to Clinton, North Carolina, where she attended primary and secondary school alongside her brother, Charles Jacobs. She went on to earn a degree in social work from Fayetteville State College and began her professional life as a social worker in New York before moving to California. In California, Pat earned her Master of Arts degree in special education from Sonoma State University. She devoted more than 30 years to serving students in the Vallejo City Unified School District, including Franklin Middle School, Vallejo High School, and Jesse Bethel High School. Her love for teaching continued after retirement when she taught life skills at Vallejo Adult School. Pat was deeply committed to service, community, and the well-being of all children. She was active with Meals on Wheels, the Greater Vallejo chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Kappa Beta Omega chapter. She also led the Shade Project at St. Catherine of Siena School, ensuring children would not have to sit in the hot sun while eating lunch. Beyond her service, she enjoyed listening to music, gardening, painting, traveling, and spending time with her beloved grandsons. She leaves behind a husband of 57 years, Johnny B. Barber Jr., her daughters, and 3 grandsons, and may her memory be a blessing. Thank you.
Okay? Yes. Okay. Anybody else? All right. So, hold on, here we go. Before I gavel out, a reminder, August 25th, we do not have a board meeting. I know that everybody in the audience it's when, I thought you said August 25th.
August 11th, no board meeting. August 25th is when we'll reconvene.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wrote
We
down
definitely
right
want the
here.
August 25th.
Okay, that's fine. I even put August 25th canceled, so obviously I did not hear you properly, which is usually pretty true when it comes to Ian. Do I really have to listen to admin? Anyway. Okay, so I apologize. Here I was happy. You just took away my happiness.
mean, you still get a day.
Yeah, but not the day I wanted. How did you, yeah, I could have
Sorry.
had baseball tickets or something. All right, so anyway, so let me just make sure I have this correct then. It's the August 11th.
11th.
So next week we do not meet.
Correct.
Okay, and then we have to come back on the 25th, which if you get freaking out is how many months before Christmas? I'm just throwing it out since it's the 25th. Okay, so I apologize. Sorry, guys. So those of you who got excited like me, not happening. Okay, so. I was trying to get some free time for all of us to do stuff. So,
Meeting adjourned.
oh yeah, that's right, here we go. Not to hit Mitch. We are adjourned, yay!